Alright everyone, now is the time for us to actually go ahead and take a look at Google Assistant versus Alexa versus Siri versus Bixby. We're going to do some basic commands between both and see which one is the better one. I'm going to try my best to do these at like the exact same time. I guess it's going to be a work in progress. I have some very basic questions I'm going to ask them, and we're just going to see how long they go ahead and take to actually go ahead and start up. So I'm going to go ahead and put them all into their pairing mode, or the speaker mode or whatever, and we're going to ask them the exact same thing. So the first question is very basic. So the very first question I asked them was, what is 5 times 5? And we got varying responses. So you can see Google actually ended up bringing up the calculator for 25. Alexa showed me 25 right there. We got 25 right there, and Bixby showed me 25, and then Bixby's being very annoying. It came and then it went. I'm not really too sure why that keeps happening. What is 60 divided by 3 times 2? So for some reason, Bixby is probably the most annoying one here, to be honest. It just came and went. Now the next one is, who is the president? So let's go and see this one. Who is the president?
Joe Biden.
Okay, so we do get responses on all these, which is really good. Now I'm going to ask a follow-up question. How old is he?
We've yet to connect in the cloud. It's a big place, after all.
So Bixby gave a different answer. You can see all the other ones, though, did give us the age of how old the specific president is in question. So very, very interesting. Now let's go and ask a completely different question. Where was he born?
Here's what I found online.
So again, here we go. Completely different responses for the Bixby one versus all the other ones. Again, they're connected to Wi-Fi and everything. We can see Google or Google Assistant show me Scranton, Pennsylvania, exactly where it was from. Same thing with Google Alexa. Same thing with Siri. Bixby did not do that, which is very, very interesting. Now let's ask a different question. Play a song by Drake.
To continue, I need access to your Spotify account.
Okay, so kind of the same thing on both. Not really that big of a difference. Very funny though, the Alexa actually ended up playing a song by Drake, which was very interesting. The other ones actually did not end up doing that. So that was very, very interesting between both as well. Who is the CEO of Apple?
The CEO of Apple is Tim Cook.
Okay, there we go. Pretty much everyone has told me the CEO of Apple. I do like Google Assistant because it does showcase, as you can see, a little bit more. Show me a picture of the CEO of Apple. Okay, very weird. We got this pop up here on Bixby. Turn on an alarm.
You need to update clock to use this feature.
Okay, so a little bit of a different setup on both as well, but they both should theoretically work, at least from my opinion. Turn off Bluetooth.
Okay, Bluetooth is now off.
So both were able to do that. Again, with Amazon Alexa, it just kind of doesn't really show me anything else. I'm going to try it again specifically on this. Turn off Bluetooth. And you can see again, we're having with Alexa, it doesn't have capability of actually utilizing or turning on Bluetooth or turning on anything like that. Now, I do want to try this timer thing. Turn on a timer for 5 minutes.
You need to update clock to use this feature.
So Bixby is just continuing to tell me to update my clock, which is very interesting because this is a fairly updated phone for the most part. Amazon Alexa is still not able to turn on timers. Very weird. So I think overall, the thing that I learned the most is how annoying this type of comparison is. It's very, very all over the place. There's also a bunch of sunlight blocking this thing. But I do think at the end of the day, this is kind of how some of this whole entire, comparison. I think Bixby is pretty good overall. I kind of had my hopes up. I saw a few other comparisons do this as well, and Bixby was doing fairly decent, but it seems like the biggest takeaway with at least Bixby, in my opinion, is probably with its, having to update things constantly, as well as some of the things not going through properly with Bixby. So that's really the other, probably the more annoying thing. Also, sometimes it will just randomly not work, and that was also kind of annoying too, but I think it still works pretty well. I think Siri did overall a pretty good job as well. I like how Siri has the capability of utilizing some, internal things. So if you want to turn on or turn off Bluetooth, you have that capability, which is really nice. And I do think this is overall a really decent, voice assistant as well. I think the only thing it kind of messed up at here and there was maybe not showing me the picture, I think, of the person. But other than that, I think it did a pretty good job. I think Amazon Alexa also has a little bit of time to progress as well. I think the biggest problem I had with Amazon Alexa is probably with the application not having access to turn on or turn off Bluetooth or set a timer or anything like that. But this was the only one here and there that actually But this one I think was more consistent than some other ones that I tested too, including Bixby. So it's very interesting. I don't think this would be the first one I would recommend, but it is, kind of full of, some information. And it was the only one that played the song earlier, if you all remember that. Now, finally, surprisingly, Google Assistant, I like the way this one looked, and I like the way this one actually kind of, held up throughout time. When I was testing the other ones, this one seemed to be probably the most consistent, and not only was it more consistent, but also it was showing me a lot more on its page. It was almost taking up the whole entire page, which was kind of nice. Some people may not like that, but I actually liked how this thing was kind of consistently showing me things and consistently answering my requests. In fact, it kind of went overboard. Sometimes it would actually go ahead and show up the calculator. If I want to do anything else, it would open the clock app and set up something for me. It would do a lot more than I was expecting. So I think the ranking of this, I would probably rank Google Assistant as probably number one, at least from the tests that I've done and other tests that I've done as well. I would rank Siri probably number two. Bixby, I would do Alexa number three, and then Bixby a close number four. That's kind of how it's some of this whole entire thing, to be honest. So that kind of covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.